We are having a ready application in playing the songs, showing as one playlist and having most of the features in the player control working. However, we are missing something about displaying the state of the current player. Like when I'm playing a song or next, I have no way to show what's the song I'm currently playing and how about the progress of the song. We are going to make some changes. One, to display uh, the current progress of playing the song, and then second, to show the song name here and within the player control. We'll do it one by one, starting with the timer. First, whenever the song starts playing, I want it to display as 0 instead of 1. To do that, we first look at the player wheel controller, in which it controls the values of the elements in the view. Here we have the time label showing the value, and right now we have the change within a play function. This function is called by an IB action. However, the song could start playing by double-clicking on the table wheel, and it goes to the player control, and then eventually going back to the player wheel controller. So instead of setting the value in the play function, I'm going to create a new function here, which is under the category of helper. And then this will be start playing. And then I will change the value of the time label at this point. In order to know that any of the songs start playing, I'm going to take this as a notification. This notification is sent by the player control and notify this wheel controller about the start of the song. In this case, within the wheel_did_no method, I'm going to add an observer to the NS notification center using the default center, and then add observer with a name. We'll be using another method, this one. With the observer here is our current object as self. Selector will be the name of the function we just defined. Since we have the notification object passing in, we have the colon here, meaning there are parameters in the function. I'm going to define the name soon for this notification, and the object here would be new. That means I could accept this notification from anywhere. In parallel, we should send this notification from the player manager. In this case, whenever play is called and the player.play is done, I'm going to send the notification. Using the default center here as well, and post the notification. I'm going to use the user info here to pass the current song object. I'm going to define the name here soon. The object will be self, meaning it is sending from the current object. And I'm going to define the user info soon as well. The two paths here should be parallel. So in this case, I'm going to open the two files side by side. The left is the receiver side, the right is the sender side. First, about the notification name. Perhaps I could do it like start playing and put it on both sides. But as mentioned in a previous session about NS notification, it would be easy to make mistakes about the name used here, say typo or the wrong use of so I'm going to create a constants files in order to store them as variables, so that for both sides, the sender and receiver can use the variable to make sure they are having the same value. In this case, I'm going to create a constants method, a constants class, but we don't have one yet, so I'm going to create one. Say I'm going to create it inside helper, call it constants, and store it in the folder of helpers. In this case, I'm going to create a struct for this and call it constants. Within it has another struct called notification. It's more like grouping things together just into correct categories. And then I define a static variable called start playing, and it will equal to start playing string value. Possibly I will have other like stop playing and pause, next song, and previous song. That may be enough for now. So now on this side, instead of putting the string value, what I can do is to use constants dot notification dot start playing to access the string value here. Besides that, I would also define some notification user info as well. Say I will be passing the song object here, so I define this as song. Later on, if I have any other class, I may define and add the notification user info constants here. So now, what I can do at this point in posting is to have constants dot notification user infos dot song as the key, and the current song here as the value. Since user info only allowed to pass unbuttoned value, and I'm sure that current song going to this point should have a value as it is able to play. So I'm going to just unwrap it through the exclamation mark. Now back to the receiver side. Let me remove the start playing string here and change it to the notifications in the constant as well. And this is a start playing. So it will monitor the notification and then call the start playing function here. I could get the song object using the user info from notification. As user info is an optional value, I'm going to add the question mark and then using the key from the constants to get the song object. I want to make sure song has an object here, so I will use the gap. Let song equal to this, else it will just return. Now I have the song variable available. This is still an any object type, so I'm going to cast it to song as well. Now it is a song class type. So let's try to run the application. Now if I double click on any song here, it just change the value to 0, 0. But that's not enough. I want to increment the value as the song is playing, so it shows like a progress. I'm going to add some new variables for that purpose. First of all is a timer, which would be triggered on a particular function based on my setup. The other one is the song progress, which is a double value that will increment accordingly. So one by one. At the point of start playing, I want to set up the song timer to NS timer with a scheduler. I'm using the target function here. I'm going to call it every second. The target will be self within this object. The selector I'm going to call will be update progress. Notice that I don't have a colon here this time because I'm not going to pass any parameter to it. User info will be new as well. It will be calling the update progress repeatedly until I tell the timer to stop. In this case, I'm going to add the timer function here, which is update progress. I have no parameter at this point. And then first of all, it would be incrementing the song progress. And then I'm going to create a formatter from NSState components formatter, which we used before to display the minute-second style. This time, I'm going to make use of some of the properties from NSState components formatter as well. We can take a look on the documentation here. First of all, I'm going to use this allowed units to display the minute and second. This is a bitwise operation, and in Swift, it works like an array. Use .minute and .second. And then I'm going to use another property here for the zero formatting behavior. Just like when the song started playing, the first second only has the value of a second, and the minute part should be 0. I still want it to display the minute part as 0. That's why I'm using the pad behavior. 0 formatting behavior equals to pad. Now the formatter is set up, and I'm going to display the value and set it to time label string value. Use the formatter string from time interval and pass in the song progress. The function here returns an optional string, but I'm not going to display optional in our view controller. So I'm going to unwrap the resulting value here. While I'm pretty sure this can be a route, as I'm always giving the double value and just turn that into string. So now I could run the application again. Start playing any song. The increment works well, but as you can see, when I pause the song, it doesn't stop there. Whenever we set up a timer, we should set up the corresponding invalidation for the timer as well. In this case, I'm going to invalidate the timer when the song is paused. As you may remember, we defined a pause playing related notification. It's now time to use it. First, set up the function for pause playing, and then at this point, I'm going to invalidate the song timer, and then set this to nil. It's okay to set it to nil, because next time when I play a game, say clicking the play button, the manager will send the start playing notification again. So it would continue to update the progress according to my current song progress value. Now I need to send the pause playing notification and observe it. First of all, go to the pause here, do the ns notification center default center, pause notification name, use the value from constants. We should have pause playing set up, object itself, user info, just in case we send the soccer object as well. And then here, observe this new notification. The name is from constants. Like this. Now start playing. And pause. And play again. There is little bug, as you may see. It somehow turns back to 0. Let's fix it. The problem is here. Whenever I start playing again, it shows as 0. So I'm going to move this just to the will.didNo method. And then run it again. Play a song, pause, and start again. Looks okay, although this is not the best solution, because 1 second is quite long. I can play and pause in between 1 second, but that's good enough for now. How about switching to another song? This is the real problem. When I switch the song, it should actually reset the value to 0. This is a bug, and we need to fix it now. Whenever I play another song, the current song object should be set. I could trigger a change song notification within the current song set method. So in this case, I'm going to send the notification from here. See whether we have a change song notification yet. No. Let's set it up. And then the any object of itself. User info is the current song again. This time, as current song is just set, we can just pass in the current song. We add another change song function here for the new notification. It turns out that setting the timer to 00 is better put within the current song function, as play happens after change song, so it can reset the value all the time. Also, it turns out the song object here is not that useful. We can just remove it for now and add it back later whenever we really use it. We really need that. By the way, I need to set up the notification observer for change song as well. As you can see, we always see new problem when we work on the project. So it's good to practice your skills through the implementation on a real-world project. Okay, the selector here should be change song, and the name is the constant. Alright, let's run it. First, we want to make sure it will be set to 0. We should also invalidate the timer as it is a new song and let it to create a new NS timer when it starts playing. Let's run the application and take a quick look on the server actions. Great, it works well. That's it for today.